Welcome back. We managed to finish the previous mission with a much better result than going through the normal path. We saved Quetzalcoatl, and as a result, got
Captain's log.
100% and 4 points. Which does beg the question, if you go through the normal path, how does Starfleet know that a better solution is possible? I guess because they read the script. In any case, we have now been told to head to Alpha Proxima, which I guess is not Proxima Centauri or Alpha Centauri, because a monitoring station has picked up some unusual readings there. So let's do some investigation on the things we've been told about.
Alpha Proxima, star system with 5 planets. Alpha Proxima III, Proxtra, and Alpha Proxima IV, Gazelle, are both inhabited worlds.
Proxtra is the one we're interested in, I think.
Proxtra, the 3rd planet in the Alpha Proxima system. This Class M planet is widely habitable except for zones of extreme radioactivity on the southern continent. About 1,000 years ago, the 2 dominant political systems, the Lucres and the Sophs, engaged in a nuclear war that resulted in the deaths of 3/4 of the world's population through direct or collateral damage. Proxtra's current civilization is non-spacefaring and does not have contact with the Federation.
Can we also look up that other planet? Gazelle?
Gazelle, a Class M world in the Alpha Proxima system. Alpha Proxima IV, a member of the Federation and a popular leisure world. Gazelle is also a major center for galactic archaeology and has many museums.
Wait, if Proxtra has, like, late 20th century equivalent technology, wouldn't they have the ability to monitor Gazelle and notice that there was another society there with spaceflight and everything? Or at least they will very soon be able to, I would expect. Let's investigate this comet, Scythe,
Scythe,
or an
a
asteroid, I
large
guess.
asteroid in an elliptical orbit in the Alpha Proxima system. Spectral analysis of its composition indicates that it has minimal atmosphere and that it was once a moon of the planet Proxtra, hurled out of its orbit by a catastrophe. The 17th letter of the Lucre alphabet is named Psi, probably not by coincidence.
The 17th letter, eh? Let's also look up the Sophs and Lucres.
Sophs, one of the 2 ancient races of Proxtra. They lived in a highly advanced culture that valued the community ahead of the individual, which put them in conflict with the Lucres. The Sophs used base 4 in their mathematics, and their organization was based on units of 4 to make up sets of 100.
And the Lucres.
Lucres, one of the 2 ancient cultures of Proxtra. See Sophs. The Lucres believed that a man who made the most of his ability was a god. Their individualism put themselves at odds with the communitarianism of the Sophs. The Lucres used base 3. Their organization was based on units of 3, making up sets of 99. The number 99 was known to have religious importance to them.
Interesting. So these cultures use base 4 and base 3, which we can actually also look up here.
Base 4, the mathematical basis for the Sophs culture. There are 4 numbers in base 4, 0, 1, 2, and 3. Thus 4 in base 4 is 1, 0. 7 is 1, 3. 8 is 2, 0. 12 is 30, and 16 is 100.
It's a very abbreviated introduction to alternate base number systems, if you are not already familiar with them. Since I'm a software engineer, of course I'm well familiar with different base number systems, which is also why I never really had any problems with those kinds of puzzles in Riven, where the Dunny use a base 25 number system, and the, of course, Abduction, where the villain use also a base 4 number system, which is much more complex than this one because you also have to learn the symbols and the positioning. In this particular game, you don't really need to understand what these different bases are at all. You just need to look them up. So let's look at base 3 as well.
Base 3. The mathematical basis for the Luger culture. There are 3 numbers in base 3, 0, 1, and 2. Thus 3 in base 3 is 1, 0. 4 is 1, 1. 5 is 1, 2. 6 is 2, 0. 9 is 1, 0, 0. 17 is 1, 2, 2. And 99 is 1, 0, 2, 0, 0.
That's an interesting set of numbers it just gave us. Let's keep that in mind. Alright, any recommendations?
Nothing to report at this time, Captain.
I guess not. We should just head over to the Alpha Proxima system. Let me check the map once again. And it is over here, I believe. And standard orbit.
Entering standard orbit.
No battle in this mission. Alright, Sponk, let's see what you can learn from scanning the planet and that asteroid.
A sensor scan of Psi reveals surface features consistent with damage left by a nuclear attack. It would seem to have been a target during Proxima's war.
Psi rained fury down on the planet and then left on a dance of victory. A missile base, Captain?
It would seem to make sense.
Captain, I just monitored a narrow beam message from Scythe to Proxima III. I don't have it all. I just caught a bit of the initial burst. I'm attempting a translation, but it appears to be a computer code.
Any response from the planet?
The Proxtrites will not have the equipment necessary to understand and reply to that code for another 25.6 years at their present rate of development.
Something tells me that them not replying to that code is going to be bad, about on the level of Earth not replying to V'ger's code in the motion picture. Can we hail anybody?
Still translating, Captain.
I guess not. I guess the game interpreted that as an attempt to respond to the message. Can't hail the planet after all, we must obey the Prime Directive. So, I guess we just need to head down to the planet and figure out if this indeed is a missile base, and if whatever it is planning on doing can be stopped. So, let's beam down.
Spock, come with me. Mr. Scott, you have the con.
Captain, Mr. Scott wishes to speak with you.
Mr. Scott?
Aye, we've had some slight problems with the transporters.
We didn't notice anything beaming down.
Just a glitch in the main transporter program. Mr. Kyle is loading a backup and we're performing tests. The transporters will be down for about an hour.
That will still give us plenty of time, Scotty.
I know, I had the lads in engineering doing a complete overhaul of the ship's systems.
Good, Mr. Scott. I'll keep you posted. Kirk out.
That doesn't sound good. Let's hope we won't need a rapid exit from this mission. This is one of the few places in the game where talking to the ship by communicator actually gives you some additional dialogue. It's not necessary to do it to complete the mission or anything, but it does give you some extra.
Scotty, report on the transporter problem.
No change, Captain. Although why it happened is about as clear as a foggy night in Glasgow.
Let me know if things change. Kirk out.
And it gives Scott some more lines, so that's nice. As well as Uhura, as you'll see. Okay, let's look around on this asteroid, moon, whatever it is.
This moon has a thin but breathable atmosphere.
That's good. Also seems unlikely. Doesn't seem like a moon would be big enough to maintain such an atmosphere. Interesting. I guess that's the planet.
This is the planet Proxima, currently 600,000 kilometers from this moon.
And there's a giant door here, which definitely seems to indicate there's something here.
This looks like a heavy-duty security door built into the side of a hill on this moon.
That would definitely bear some closer investigation.
There are many rocks here.
Yes, it's the ground.
These stones look like faces.
These stones resemble those on Earth, on Easter Island.
Stone monoliths of faces are a common artistic expression in evolving cultures.
Like the faces on Vandu, too. Even the animal face art of the Orion post-decadence movement is similar.
I never realized the Orions ever got past decadence. They hadn't the last time I was there.
Looks like our security crew member this time is a bit of an art connoisseur, by the sound of it. And they do kind of look like the Easter Island heads.
There are many rocks here. James T. Kirk worried about the safety of the people of Proxima.
Indeed.
Mr. Spock looks forward to examining the technology of this ancient culture. Dr. Leonard McCoy, knowing that they aren't likely to encounter any medical problems, is rather annoyed about being dragged yet again into the transporter.
It's not my fault. I don't get to choose the crew members.
Ensign Mosier seems to be rather curious about the planet's technology.
Ensign Mosier is our new security guy. Our new Richard.
He doesn't seem to be in a talkative mood right now.
Aside from the security door on what should be a lifeless planetoid, this place is unremarkable.
Well, the atmosphere is kind of remarkable, if you ask me.
The atmosphere is breathable, Jim, but hardly nourishing. We should either get inside or go back to the ship.
Well, we can't go back to the ship with the transporters not working, so let's try to work on getting inside.
Area secure, Captain.
Let's see what the tricorder can find out.
I cannot get readings from this range, Captain. But if we do not hurry, there will be nothing left to get a reading on.
Yeah, scanning a planet with a handheld tricorder from this distance, probably not an option.
Unremarkable except for low-grade power emanations from the door area.
So something is still working, I guess.
The rocks have a high quantity of triphosphorus silver in them.
Okay.
Unremarkable
Oh.
Large quantities of atmosphere are being circulated through these rocks. I would guess there are storage units within this satellite which are constantly replacing the atmosphere that is lost because of this moon's weak gravity.
Which means that this moon might still be inhabited, Mr. Spock.
We have detected no signs of life, Captain, but the possibility does exist.
Well, that explains the atmosphere, I guess.
The rocks have a high...
Can we get those rocks?
You retrieve a rock.
I guess we can.
Triphosphate silver in its raw form.
In case we ever need some triphosphate silver, I guess.
As expected, Captain. The source of power emanations lies beyond that door.
A power source that has lasted millennia and endured major catastrophes. That's fascinating, Mr. Spock.
Do you have Vulcan blood, Ensign?
No, sir.
He's just curious. Don't hate the guy. Let's check out that door.
Captain, I'm afraid we got a wee problem here.
What is it, Scotty?
There is some sort of virus in the main computer. Our phasers and tractor beams have been disabled, and there's no way we're getting them back in 3 hours.
There goes our backup plan. Do what you can, Mr. Scott.
Aye, I will, Captain. I may yet have a trick or two that I can pull, but don't count on any miracles.
Isolate that virus. That's your #1 priority.
That it is, Captain. We'll keep you informed. Scott out.
See, they should have just renewed that license for McAfee. I bet the Enterprise came with a trial version and they let it expire. People always do that. Anyway, we can actually talk to them again here.
Your situation, Mr. Scott.
We're still looking for the virus, Captain. I even have Lieutenant Uhura looking through the computer system. I never realized the last was so good with them.
Check her record, Mr. Scott. She was in the top 10% of her class in computer systems analysis.
We'll find that virus soon, Captain, or I'm an Englishman.
Just do your best, Scotty. Kirk out.
Okay. I don't actually remember if Uhura's prowess with computers was ever mentioned in the series. I do think that if you actually do what Kirk just said, look it up on the library computer, it does mention it. But I don't remember if it was actually called out in the series or if that's just something they made up here. I'm sure someone will be able to tell me. Also, yeah, phasers and tractor beam being down is a bad thing because it means that if we fail on the moon here and missiles are fired, the Enterprise will not be able to either destroy or intercept them. So we'd better make double sure that we succeed.
Built into the rock is a very large door.
You could say that. Maybe a loading door?
This heavy-duty door has taken numerous micrometeorite strikes but still appears solid.
Some pretty sturdy construction then.
A lens sits above the doorway, but is it mere decoration?
I actually don't think this does anything.
It looks like some sort of display panel.
Indeed it does.
This is a keypad that looks functional.
But is it? We'll find out, I guess.
James T. Kirk, a man with a problem, a big problem that is getting bigger.
Indeed.
It never ceases to amaze you how passive Spock can be, even in the presence of extraordinary wonders. Ensign Mosier is glad to be a member of this landing party, at least for now.
Well, there hasn't been any chance for him to get killed yet, so I guess that explains why.
McCoy is examining himself for cosmic radiation sickness symptoms.
I think that's actually something you can do.
No appreciable cosmic radiation damage. Yet. No appreciable cosmic
So we don't have to worry about it yet. I don't know if you actually get cosmic radiation damage if you stand outside long enough. I've never tried. Not going to now either.
Well, we won't be able to phaser any outbound missiles.
It appears that our mission has increased in importance.
Indeed.
The origin point for the broadcast Uhura monitored was approximately 50 meters beyond this door.
This door is huge. If they were humanoid, they could have been giants.
From what we know about the Lucars, they had an affinity for size. Their machines weren't just equipment, they were also monuments.
I can believe that.
Or it's just the loading door, like I said.
We should stay inside as much as possible. We must try to protect ourselves from the cosmic radiation.
Let's see what the tricorder can find out.
This appears to be a dust-covered lens of some sort.
I don't think there's anything you need to do with that. It isn't like a threat or anything. I really don't know what that lens is for. Must have served some purpose in the past, but does not serve any purpose in the game as far as I can tell.
The door still appears to be in operating condition.
That's pretty impressive.
Unremarkable. A working display panel, Captain.
We already knew that.
There is power running to the keypad.
Well, I guess that means we should try and get the door open. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
That did not seem to work, Captain. Perhaps we should try a number that had some significance to them. Remember, they were very superstitious.
Indeed. And also remember that if this is indeed the Lucers, as was just pointed out in conversation, they used base 3. So the input probably has to be in base 3. So this is actually the only place in the game where you need information from the library computer. So if you hadn't gotten in the habit of researching everything related to the mission before beaming down, then you'd be stuck now, or at the very least would have to reload a save on the Enterprise to go and check. I guess Spock's hint that we need to try a number of some significance does tell you that you should go look for something in the computer if you hadn't already. And even if you don't have a save back on the Enterprise, you're not really out of luck, because you can just restart the game and do it at the beginning. Doesn't need to be right before this mission. But the computer told us that there are two numbers that are significant to the Lucers. The number 17, which is the position of the letter Scythe in their alphabet, and the number 99. And the computer conveniently also told us the base 3 representations of those numbers. So we don't actually need to do any math here, or even know how base 3 works. Let's try the number 17, I guess. 1, 2, 2.
That did not seem to work, Captain. Perhaps...
No. The other one then, 10200, which is 99 in base 3.
I see you deduced that 10200 in the Lucers base 3 was equal to their sacred number 99.
Indeed I did. Well, the computer told me as well, so that helped. Can I scan the inside?
A security lock, Captain.
Yes, but it does not tell me much.
This appears to be some sort of security lock.
Well, Spock just confirmed that. Well, let's go inside.
Report, Scotty. How are things going?
About as badly as a killed in a blast furnace, Captain. Wait a minute. Lieutenant Uhura has some news for you.
The virus came from our sensor sweep of the moon's computers. We believe we have analyzed the memory sectors it attacked.
Well done, Uhura.
I wish I could take credit for it. It was Mr. Kyle who found the pattern. We are attacking it with antivirus programs.
Computer science sounds more like medicine every day.
If we had a doctor as good with computers as you are with patients, we'd be having a lot fewer problems.
Finally, someone who appreciates me.
Keep working at it, Uhura. Kirk out.
Okay, looks like they're making some progress. But doesn't sound like we're quite ready for Plan B yet. And again, we can find out more.
Scotty, any progress on the phasers?
Sorry, Captain, but we cannot do that. We don't have phasers for at least 8 more hours.
By then, Proxima could be a dead planet.
Indeed, so we better make sure that there is nothing to phaser. For that, we need to get inside this base, and it looks like there's another door blocking our way.
This looks like some kind of security lock with heavy-duty doors on both ends. The door has some strange writing on it. I
Don't know if you can investigate that writing any closer.
This looks like some kind of security lock with heavy-duty doors. A keypad in base 3.
It didn't tell us that for the other keypad. Would have been a helpful hint.
A computer terminal. Each word in the Lucre language has 3 aspects: submissive, neutral, and aggressive, to supply connotation to their language.
Okay. Good to know, I guess.
James Kirk, the burden of command is quite heavy at times.
I'm sure it is.
McCoy wishes this place was less technological.
I'm sure he does.
Spock looks at the equipment and raises an eyebrow. Ensign Mosier is scanning the area for potentially hostile life forms.
Well, so far there are none, so that's good at least.
The Lucres did not seem to have a problem with security.
I guess not, considering how seriously they took it. Although, putting your easily guessed holy numbers as entry codes, that's not exactly good security practice now, is it?
This place does seem to provide protection against cosmic rays.
I don't see why they bothered putting an atmosphere here, Captain. There hasn't even been bacteria here in centuries, let alone humanoids.
I guess they just never bothered to turn it off.
My tricorder is picking up large supplies of frozen oxygen, nitrogen, and carbon dioxide beneath the surface, enough to last many centuries.
At least we won't have to worry about suffocating.
Okay. I guess we could live here if we needed to. Well, we'd need something to eat and drink too, so...
We appear to be in some type of security lock. No defensive systems are apparent here, but considering the size of the doors, they probably don't need them.
I guess so.
This door is similar to the one on the outside of the secure lock, except that it has not weathered over the years. Electrical panels indicate the keypad on the right controls the door.
Okay.
This keypad is fully functional and controls the door. Its entry code is in base 3.
Again, that would have been helpful to know for the outer door.
The interior of the security lock is unremarkable and well preserved. A computer terminal, Captain. It uses the Lucre alphabet. I think I can decipher it.
All right. Well, let's give it a try.
The console reports the following. Welcome to Orbital Missile Base. Codename, Scythe. This base has been operational for the past week. It has completed 1 successful fire mission. Estimation of success is at 22 over 100.
22%? That's very low. Hardly something to brag about.
Doctor, in base 3, 22 divided by 100 is equivalent to 8 out of 9, or 88%. I would think that quite satisfactory, given this base's probable mission of destroying the soft forces on Proxima.
It says the base has been operational for a week, but this has been here for 1,000 years.
If the Lucres built this base with a clock that told the time by measuring the moon's rotational speed, or the gravitational forces generated by Proxima and the sun, the computer may have calculated only a week of time has passed since its first action. I might be able to learn more with another look at the console. There is a substantial amount of data here, but in summary, Scythe was created by the Lucres as a launching platform for missiles to keep the Softs subjugated to their influence. The Softs managed to infiltrate the base. However, their actions triggered Scythe's auto-attack mechanisms and initiated a holocaust that nearly annihilated the planet. One soft strike did, in fact, hit the moon and deflected it from its orbit. It has been dormant since then.
So why has the base been activated again?
Given the damage to the moon, its slow rotation and orbit, it has never realized the war is over. On this pass, for the first time, it has detected radio wave transmissions from Proxima. Because it does not recognize them, it assumes the Softs are still active. Its transmission to the planet, I would assume, was some sort of a check beacon to see if it should continue its mission.
Jim, let's return to the ship and blast this place to destroy its weapons.
Doctor, this moon is a god to the people down there. If we destroy it, we will violate the Prime Directive.
Spock is right, Bones. Spock, what are the chances that we could decode the transmission and send a stop code to the base?
In trinary or decimal?
Spock!
1.327 million to 1, provided the archaeological studies about Lucre's languages are correct. Our other option is to get into this base and see if we can bring the computers down.
Not to mention that we, can't destroy the base because the Enterprise is having troubles. Also, if it came down to it, between violating the Prime Directive and letting these people die, I would violate the Prime Directive. And in this particular era of Star Trek, I think they would agree. In the later incarnations, particularly Voyager onward, they seem to take the point of view that, letting people die is a good thing, rather than interfering. Which I do not agree with. Also, if there's anything we can learn from this game, it's that you shouldn't make time measurement devices that rely on astronomical bodies like moons, because they just get thrown off when something happens to said heavenly body. Happened in both this mission and the first one. Despite the fact that Spock said that he can get more with another look at the console, I guess that's what he did immediately after, because if you click on the console again, you will just get the whole spiel again. Do we know the writing now?
The door has some strange writing on it.
No. Thought maybe now we had deciphered the computer and we could read the writing.
This says,
Oh.
dominant people, only to dominate things beyond these submissive walls. My guess is that only authorized personnel were allowed beyond this door.
Dominance seemed to be very important to these people. No wonder the Lucre were so warlike.
Actually, Ensign, they differ from your culture, only in that their language was explicit in their expressions of dominance and submission, rather than implied.
Okay. I guess Spock can read the writing. I actually did not know that. Let's see if we can open this door. Let's just try the same code.
That did not work, Captain. It is probable this lock also uses a number of some significance.
If that is the case, then there's only one number left. 122. The number 17.
Fascinating. If the Federation language studies were correct, the ideograph for the word scythe in the Lucre's language is the 17th symbol in their alphabet that corresponds with 122 in base 3.
Good. That worked.
Captain, we have a cure for the computer virus.
Well done, Uhura.
I modified Ctrl-C to exclusively attack the Lucre virus. They annihilated each other, Captain.
Fascinating, Lieutenant.
The Klingons aren't going to be happy to learn that they helped us. How about the phasers and tractor beams?
We may get the tractor beams online in time, Captain. I'm afraid even the backup phaser transmission codes were affected. We could destroy some missiles manually, but if this complex decides to launch more than 10 missiles at a time...
Understood. The ball is in our court. We'll give it our best shot. Kirk out.
Still sounds like we shouldn't count on the Enterprise, even though they made some progress there. And I tried looking up this Kafra C. Sounds like it's a Klingon computer virus or something. But I could not find any references to it anywhere. So I don't think it was ever mentioned before. I think we can contact the ship one last time.
No change, Captain. Any progress on the planet?
We're making our way through. Keep your fingers crossed, Lieutenant.
Captain, we'll help you all we can.
Right now, I'll take anything that works. Kirk out.
Yeah, not really any further information there. We still have to figure out what else is in this base and how we can stop it from firing any missiles. But we'll do that in the next video.